You've written a draft of your argumentative essay. Now let's take a look at how the evidence stacks up. Support for an argumentative essay should be relevant, effective, and credible. If it isn't, your argument may not be very convincing. Relevant evidence is closely connected to the topic. Ask yourself, is this evidence appropriate to the point I am trying to make? If your claim is that genetically modified food should be banned from diets, all of your evidence should be closely related to that topic. Anything less is distracting, unnecessary, and irrelevant. Effective evidence produces a desired result. Don't use evidence that strongly suggests that there are no health risks associated with eating genetically modified food. That isn't effective. Credible evidence is convincing. That means using evidence from a source that is recognized as an authority. Do not rely on user forums, publicly edited encyclopedias, or poorly written personal blogs. You can't be sure you'll get accurate information from these sites. Once you have included relevant, effective, and credible evidence in your argumentative essay, you need to give credit where credit is due. This is called citing evidence. For example, let's say that you found the following quote to support your argument. "We really do not know what the long-term consequences will be for our health, safety, or the environment." You want to use this quote directly, but if you do so, you must also state the source of the quote in parentheses and include that information in a works cited page. If you choose not to quote directly, be sure to restate the evidence in your own words. Don't plagiarize. There are a variety of ways to introduce a quote while giving credit to the source. But don't just use a quote. Include a sentence to analyze the quote or say why it's important to your argument. Make sure you use citations for any source material. This allows the reader to check your sources if they want to, and it shows that you have done your research. For example, if you are using the MLA-style citations, there are two ways to format. State who the author is when using a quote, and if the quote is from a printed source, put the page number in parentheses at the end of the sentence. Quote the evidence and then use parentheses to cite who it is by and, if it's from a printed source, what page it is found on. You do not need to include page numbers from internet sources. It might help to use a graphic organizer to be sure that you are properly citing and analyzing the evidence from your essay. Try this one. This graphic organizer is a checklist. To use it, scan through your essay and identify your claims. Next, write down the evidence that you used to support each claim. Be sure to use your own words or give credit for direct quotes. Finally, answer yes or no for each question on the checklist. If you answer no to any of the questions, you'll need to rework your essay. You may need to look for another source. Once you've answered yes to all of the questions, you should be all set.